Oh, hello there, my loves. Welcome once more to the beginning of the week. If you're anything like me, I'm sure you couldn't wait for the week to begin. I fucking love a Monday. I don't know about you. Anyway, I'm back in the flow of things and I'm slightly less depressed. No, I feel fine actually, so don't worry about it, my loves. Anyway, what's coming this week? So two things, the usual live stream, which will be this Thursday at 8 o'clock GMT, and it's all about duets, my love. So select your tracks, keep them close to your bosom, and then flop the devils out on the night, and we will have a wonderful time together. On Friday, I was hoping to do my, again, I'm catching up here, a late review of Moorcock's The Vanishing Tower. However, there were some problems with my book. Big problems. So this morning I was reading it and I got to page 96 and it flipped back down to 49 and repeated a massive chunk of the earlier book, completely replacing what I wanted to read. So I've written a stern email to the seller telling them what the fuck is going on. Hopefully I'll be getting another copy. But anyway, this Friday instead I will be reviewing Stephen King's The Wind Through the Keyhole. Yeah, I read that a couple of months ago and I still remember it quite well because I absolutely loved it. Will it have 5-star review? Will it be 5 stars? Yes, it will. There we are, the spoiler. But anyway, there we are. That's what you can look forward to this week, if you will. I do have a couple of other irons in the fire as pertaining to this channel, my loves, but I probably won't have time to do it this week. One of the things is I'm thinking of doing a new dance, which I may or may not use on a new intro. I don't know. I just found a nice song that I like and I fancied boogieing to it, so I might do that this weekend or whenever I've got the time to sling my hips around. Yes, my hips are behaving slightly better more recently. But let's do a quick news update on all of the problems of my body. Right, knee, it's doing all right. Hips, they are improving, but slightly twinging. Left wrist, mild pain occasionally. Right wrist, completely fucked. Anyway, there we are. There's a bit of wrist news for you and other various bodily parts of yours truly, my labs. Right, what else? Right, so I've got a list of things I can talk about today. Unbelievably, I thought I've done fuck all this week, but it turns out I have been doing some things. So the other thing I've started doing is writing the sequel to Brown Robe Blues, my love. So the person I've got to thank for that is a chap who goes by the name on YouTube as Stuffy Bubbles number 7 or Stuffy Bubbles 7. And he's messaged me a couple of times on videos. He appears to be a regular viewer. And he said that he's always said he enjoyed the first book and looking forward to the second one. And a couple of times I've said to him, look, yeah, it's coming. I've done 10,000 words. It's coming at you soon. Never has, of course. It's one of those things that I have in the background, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the bike with it, so to speak, but it never happens. So I thought, right, let's do it. Let's get back on it. And so I've done another 5,000 words or so in the past week. So yes, it's coming. Of course, it's going to take fucking ages to come out, but at least I've made headway into it, and I'm absolutely loving writing again. It's something that I'm looking forward to when I get back from work. I think, right, let's do some writing and escape into this other world. And it's made my dreams very, very strange indeed. Not always in a good way. What else? Well, I've got some pictures I can show you here. So in the past, this is a photograph, first of all, of a cutlery divider that I made when we moved into our previous flat 7 years ago. Or 7 years ago. I thought, yeah, let's just build it out of cardboard. And as a placeholder for one we might get further down the line. It's still there. I've just photographed it just now. It's still up there. But we've got another drawer now that needs a cutlery divider. And guess what I made it out of, my loves? Yes, of course, cardboard. Not content to make window frames out of cardboard, I make various things. Just because my poor old wrist not very good with sawing. I used to like making stuff out of wood occasionally. Wood, yes, wood, of course. But yeah, it's cardboard now. My next project, of course, will be a fully working gas boiler out of cardboard, and then perhaps a knee and hip replacement. Yes, made out of cardboard, my love, yes. Fucking hell. Okay, right, update on the painting. This is Brian's painting here that's always lurking in the background. So this green portion has finally dried. It only took 12 days, which for me is approaching a record. Although I did have some problems with that picture that's being used for the cover of our new book coming out, Jake's compendium of short stories that we're all submitting to. That one took even longer, I think. But the culprit is Winsor & Newton's Lemon Yellow, which I sometimes use to mix my own greens to give it a bit of vibrancy, a bit of punch, but it just retards the drying process terribly. Are you allowed to use retard in that way? I think you are. I think you're still allowed to use it in that context, my loves. But anyway, there we are. I will be applying the next layer of detail to it shortly. Okay, yeah, the other thing is, yes, I've bought 40 canvas boards, little devils, little tiny ones. You see a pile of them over there, the same size that I used for the wedding. I did some paintings as wedding gifts, if you will. So I thought, yeah, it'd be nice. Occasionally, if I fancy doing a painting on the side, just do a little tiny one like that. I do like the smaller ones. They're not so painful on the wrist, and they don't take as much time, and you can achieve quite nice things on a small scale. So yes, that's quite exciting. And I might also bring about the idea that I've had, one of the many ideas I've had for making my fortune, and that is penises by post, rendering fine oil paintings of penises that can be winging their way to you in the future. I mean, who wouldn't want a nice, splendidly oil painted cock on their mantelpiece, I ask you? Yes, any birthdays coming up, elderly relatives, who knows? Do let me know. I don't know if I'll have time at this end of the year to do it, but that's something that's also coming down the line, my loves. I also bought this one. This is a small stretch canvas. It's Italian made, my loves.
Buongiorno.
Yes, I found canvases that I really like. This this one isn't, this because it would have been too expensive for this size, but this one wasn't too much. But anyway, I found a sketch that I did a year or two ago when I was working on that maypole painting. And concurrent to that, I did this other sketch. I'm not going to show you. It'll be a surprise if I ever get around to doing it. But I'm going to put the sketch on here and paint the devil. So it's of a similar ilk. Countryside, naked young lady. You fill in the gaps, my loves. Yes, yes. But anyway, there we are. That's everything I'm doing. Lots to do, but very little time in which to do it as ever, my loves. But anyway, let's leave it there. See any of you who can trundle along to the live stream. And otherwise, it'll be Friday for a fairly shambolic book review. Let's leave it there. Thank you for watching, my loves, and cheerio.